guys. Last week, we lost an incredible Christian man and leader. We lost Voddie Baucham last week. Voddie was very influential in my life, in my spiritual walk. Before I had ever heard of him, I picked up in a Lifeway bookstore, back when those existed, I picked up a little red book called Expository Apologetics, and never heard of the author and couldn't pronounce his name. And that was my first introduction to Voddie Baucham, was his book Expository Apologetics that I read a long time ago. Then I started learning who he was, and I started following him on YouTube and watching his messages and reading his book Fault Lines, which is about the social welfare gospel, critical race theory, and how social justice has infiltrated and harmed the church. He was actually studying these topics in the early 2000s, nearly 2 decades before the rest of Americans would even hear of these things. God had been preparing him to study these things and be able to lead us through those times as they approached. But I want to tell you some of the most influential things that I carry every day from Voddie Baucham. A couple of his quotes that I think of constantly. They were burned into my heart when I heard him say them. And these are from messages that I've heard him give. I think it was mostly messages where he was preaching like at Dallas Theological Seminary to the students there. I think that was the messages that I got these from, but there weren't quotes from his book. They were from him speaking at various occasions. And one of them was this. Voddie Baucham said, apologetics is not just for some special group of Christians. It's not for the special forces of Christians. A lot of you think that apologetics isn't for everyone. That's kind of not for everyone. That's for this small group of people who are very academic and love to argue. He said that is incorrect. Apologetics is for every single Christian. And if you're a Christian, you had better become a good apologist. When I heard him say that, man, it resonated within my soul. And I felt that is correct. And the other great quote from him that I always think about is when he said, sometimes you will hear people disparage apologetics by saying, you can't argue someone to Christ. No one ever got argued into the gospel. He said, if you think that, then you don't know apologetics and you don't know me. Man, I was like, this right here, this is a man of God. This is a Christian warrior. This is a man out there on the cutting edge, on the tip of the spear, who is changing the conventional thoughts of our day and challenging some of the commonly held beliefs, especially amongst church-going Christians. This is a man who understands thought and reason and evidence for the gospel. And he will be incredibly missed by me, by many organizations, by churches, by Christians. If you didn't know who Voddie Baucham was, now is the time. He's in heaven now, but his videos, his messages, they're all still here. And this is the time for you to start listening to them and being sharpened by them. He has left behind a treasure chest full of invaluable messages to us that I will continue to listen to, and I encourage you to continue to listen to. powerful speaker, gifted communicator, incredible apologist, outspoken, bold ambassador for Christ, Voddie Baucham. He will absolutely be missed. He influenced Men's Alliance more than you realize because he influenced me.